It's Clea Monique. My first name's Clea. My middle name's Monique. It's Clea Monique. And today is the start of a 48-hour reading vlog over at the Citadel, hosted by Mel Reads. We are doing a Citadel readathon for this weekend. It's about to be a very intense week for me because I am having a little anxiety moment where I feel like I am behind on my TBR, and I really am determined to finish my TBR this month. And so I'm really going to be pumping out them books today. But also, it is my niece's second birthday this weekend, and I'm so excited. And also very like emotional and sad because she's about to turn 2, and it's like, what? But yeah, so I have that tomorrow, and that'll kind of put a wrench in all my reading, but I still have a lot of reading that I want to do. So let me go ahead and show you the TBR that I have for today, and then we can talk a bit more about the plans for this weekend. First up, we have Normal People by Sally Rooney. This is one of the buddy reads for Mel Reads Patreon. So once I finish this one, I will have completed all the buddy reads for her Patreon, since I've already read Ace of Spades this month and Prior the Orange Tree earlier this year. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this one. That's a must do. And then also I have You Can't Touch My Hair by Phoebe Robinson, and this is a nonfiction book, which I'm trying to read more nonfiction. I genuinely don't know what this is about. All I see is being a Black woman in America means contending with old prejudices and fresh absurdities every day. Yep, I'm reading this. I just realized I did not give the synopsis for Normal People, and not really for You Can't Touch My Hair, but I'll do that when I am either doing my wrap-up portion or when I am starting to read the book, because I really gotta rush and do this so that I can go to the bookstore. Next up, we have Tomi by Junji Ito? Yes, Junji Ito. I have no clue what it is about, except, holy shit, wow, that is so pretty. And yes, kind of terrifying. Nope, not gonna look in the other cover. Yeah, Tomi by Junji Ito. And then I also have Bloom. All I know is that it includes a bakery. Like, one of the main characters' dads owns a bakery, so there's like baking involved, and also it is a queer relationship. That's all I really know. Or like the blooming of a queer relationship. So that's all I really know. And then finally, I have Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. This is the buddy read for Jaleesa's, also known as Bounded in Bookmark here on YouTube. This is the buddy read for her Patreon. And yeah, like I said, I'm feeling kind of rushed with my TBR this month, and so I really want to make sure that I'm focusing on buddy reads, because that one is something that I actually, like, those are actually things I have committed with other people to finish. Instructions for Dancing, the only thing I know about this is that it deals with a girl that no longer believes in love and a guy that is the opposite of that. So I feel like this is such a rushed beginning, but I need to rush over to Barnes & Noble and pick up some books for my niece, because like I said, her birthday is tomorrow. All I have is one present, and every time she sees me reading, she's like, book. And she always wants me to read to her, and so I always have to drop what I'm reading to read to her, which is cute. I love that, and I hope that she ends up loving books as much as I do, and then that'll be our bonding thing. But yeah, I need to get sis more books for her age group instead of, because right now in my house there's like 3 books that are in her age group, and so yeah, she just needs more books because I'm tired of reading Brown Bear, Brown Bear. I'm gonna rush over to Barnes & Noble. I might vlog that experience, but also I'm new to YouTube. I'm very scared of vlogging in public, so we'll see if I can do that. I'll at least try to get you guys a couple clips. We'll see, but I'll definitely have a haul moment once I get back. The readathon starts at 5 p.m. my time, and it is like 3:30 right now. So yeah, I need to book it down to the bookstore and make it back here before that. I think that is all I have to say for now. When I come back from the bookstore, I'll be more chill, I promise. But yeah, talk to you guys later. So we're just going to collectively take a nice deep woosah moment, nice deep breath in and breath out. 1, 2, 3. It is readathon time. We're excited. I love how I always include y'all in my excitement and my emotions. But yeah, it's readathon time. And in fact, it has been readathon time for about an hour and 10 minutes. That wasn't exact. It has been readathon time for an hour and 10 minutes. Like I said, I went to the bookstore. I just got back. I still have things I need to do. So I am going to finish doing them. I have, however, started one of the books for the readathon, and that book is You Can't Touch My Hair by Phoebe Robinson. I started this audiobook and I love it. Oh my goodness. I'm also very pissed at myself for not reading it faster. I have had this book since, wow, the sticker is still on the book, but I have had this book since I was in college, since at the very least freshman year of college. So yeah, I've had this for some time. And it's amazing, and I'm so mad at myself for not reading it yet. I did borrow the audiobook from my library, but I think I'm going to buy it with my Audible credit, or just buy the audiobook somehow, some way anyways, because even though she like writes as though she's like talking, hearing her voice and like the additional things she adds to the audiobook is just so amazing and so great. And I want to own both because, you know, Black girl, take my money. I also wanted to do a quick little haul moment and show you guys what I bought at Barnes & Noble. But yeah, I'll show you the kid books first, and then I did actually buy myself books. So I bought 4 kitty books here because one, my niece is, yes, like I said, my niece is turning 2, but also I have a little cousin whose birthday is also this weekend. In fact, his birthday is on Sunday. My niece's birthday is tomorrow. So I bought them both books because stick with the brand, you know. I'll start with the books I think I'm gonna end up giving to my cousin. And first and foremost, we got what do we got? Bedtime for Baby Shark. The kids love Baby Shark. The next book is The Runaway Bunny. I had this book when I was little, clearly like a toddler. And I remember, honestly, that the illustrations used to scare me. Or one illustration in particular scared the living crap out of me. I can't find that now. And that's honestly, it might have been this picture. As an adult, I recognize that the photo is actually quite beautiful, or the illustrations are actually quite beautiful, but it was terrifying as a kid. Or no, I think they actually took out the illustration that scared me. Or it's just less intense. No, I think it was this. I don't know. Something scared me as a kid. I don't know why that encouraged me to buy it for another child, but it's actually a cute story. And I remembered it from my childhood, and so I thought I would give that to my little cousin because I thought that was really cute. Or at least I think this is what I'm going to give to him. And then I got 2 books for my niece, and that is Stay This Way Forever, written by Lindsay Davis, who is a journalist and an amazing writer. So yeah, got this for my niece. I love that it is hardcover because sis is very tough on her books. It's basically just talking about Black excellence. Essentially, like, it's just telling the little kid that they're great and to stay that way forever. And then I'm so excited about this one. I also got her Shady Baby, which is inspired by Kavia James Union Wade and written by her parents, Gabrielle Union Wade and Dwayne Wade Jr. I love Kavia with my whole heart, but also my niece is a Shady Baby. So literally the second I saw that Kavia had her own little book, I was like, and it was named Shady Baby, I was like, I have to get that for my niece. And I saw this at Barnes & Noble, so I grabbed it, clearly. Next, I got 3 books for myself. I got We Want Our Bodies Back, and it's basically talking about patriarchy, misogyny, stereotypes, hatred, sexual assault, objectification, and death threats, and a bunch of other things that Black women have to go through when it comes to our bodies, and just our existence. So yeah, I had to pick this up. Next, I picked up Vicious Spirits. Wicked Fox is actually on my TBR this month, so hopefully I will be reading that sometime this month, and then I can get to Vicious Spirits next month. Next, I got Blackout. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. My ring light. I don't know what to do about the ring light. I got Blackout, which is by Daniela Clayton, Tiffany D. Jackson, Nick Stone, Angie Thomas, Ashley Woodfolk, and Nicola Yoon. So in other words, Black excellence. And yeah, from what I understand, this is a collection of love stories written by these authors, and it all takes place, like they're all interconnected and takes place during a blackout in New York. That is all I'm willing to know about it. I love it. I love these authors. If I didn't feel so anxious about my TBR this month, I would pick this up immediately, but I'm not mad at picking it up next month instead. So yeah, those are all the books I got at Barnes & Noble. I am going to fill out my reading journal and like do my setup or my spread for this readathon and continue listening to You Can't Touch My Hair. I'll come back to you guys when I finish a book. Okay, so yeah, it is 1:30 in the morning. I have one more chapter left of this book, but I am literally so tired that there's no way that I finish this book and update the vlog. It's not gonna happen. I still need to take out my contacts that are fighting my eyes at this point to just hop out their damn self. I also need to wash my face. Like I said, finish this book. I will be finishing it tonight before I go to bed. But when I finish this, my eyes are closing and they're not opening back up again until I wake up many hours from now. Not many. I'm gonna try to sleep at least 4 hours, no more than 6. I'm probably gonna sleep for the 6. It's my niece's birthday tomorrow, so I want to have as much energy for her as she needs and deserves.
Blouse instead, and it's still leggings.
Oh no, I don't change my phone. It's still the hoodie or the turtleneck.
I'll do the hoodie if I put on makeup. I feel like I gotta look put together in some way. One of the things has to be better.
True. That is ice.
Baby, well born after a very disappointing
I lost my groove. No one better hold me.
Alright, hello. Hi, how are you? It is check-in time. I know, no need to adjust your screen, no need to scream. I know I look frightening, but I'm sprinting with friends right now, and the mask is tickling right under my nose. But I'm sprinting with friends right now. I don't know if that'll be in frame. Let's see. Oh, there's a good chance that that's actually in frame with the camera. But yeah, we're sprinting right now. Clearly I'm in charge of the timer. But I decided to use this sprint to have a little self-care moment, kind of like, I feel like I've been saying that I've been slowing down my pace a lot this vlog, but yeah, I swear there's like there's a reason for that, because like behind the scenes, everything has just felt kind of fast paced, and I don't know, kind of like I'm out of the moment. But I am, I don't know how far I am in normal people, about 30% I would say, and I genuinely don't know how I feel about this book. It's not bad. I'm feeling like it's a 3-star. I don't really care for Marianne at all. I was kind of liking her, and now I've just gotten to the point where I'm kind of indifferent towards her, and I can't stand Connell. So yeah, and I don't know if the writing in this book or the story of the book is good enough for me not to like the main characters. Like, I'm not the type of person that has to like the main character in a book, as long as A, the writing is really good, or B, the story is really good. And I just don't feel like either is true for this book. I don't know, there's just something that's like, why am I doing this again? You know? And the answer is, I'm doing it for the Citadel. Yep, I'm doing this for the Citadel. We had a cute little Jeopardy moment on the Citadel. That was a lot of fun. I was tipsy, so the reflexes weren't really there. And yeah, I'm so happy for the people that won, though. It was so much fun. Yeah, I had so much fun with the little game moment, the game night moment. And yeah, I'll update you all if 1, something major happens, or 2, I have finished this book, which I am going to finish this book before I go to sleep tonight, even if that means that I end up having to switch back to the audiobook, because yeah. What the actual fuck did I just read? Well, I'm pissed off. Yeah, this is definitely a spoiler, so I like genuinely don't know what to do except because I don't want to spoil the book for anyone, but also there's no way in hell I would ever recommend this book to anyone. Basically, what has happened in 3 pages is Connell was essentially sexually harassed. Not essentially, he was sexually harassed. And that's not even a spoiler. That's just like a content warning. I would love to know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this, because it was just given to us and I'm just sitting here like, whoa, okay, now commentary, please. And I understand that, like, I literally just noted a few chapters ago, yep, here it is, that there was a scene in which Marianne, Connell, and Marianne's friend Peggy were discussing having multiple partners, and essentially Peggy was like, I would feel like every guy would want to have more than one partner, and they kind of just like had this whole conversation and stuff. And this isn't even like the first time this is the first time there's been like a discussion about this, but it's not the first time the topic of the pressures males are under when it comes to sex, and how men are expected to always want sex. They're expected to always be horny, always accept sex, no matter like whether they want to or not, and how men can't really say no, which is something I've heard before. And honestly, now that I think about it, I would love to do more research on this topic. But I mean, I guess I am halfway through the book, and so this might be just like the tip of the iceberg. Well, no, the tip of the hill, and then we're gonna make our way back down and like explain what the just happened, and like actually comment and like address the issue, because right now all we're doing is giving instances of the issue, which I found very interesting and like appreciated. And then the scene happened, and a character, also known as Connell, who is already like going through a lot of mental health issues and is in like a mental health crisis, is now going through like this. And literally I was just starting to feel for Connell and like his mental state, because he just alludes a lot to his anxiety and like how he's genuinely anxious about everything, which is very relatable to me. And so I was really starting to feel for him in that way. And he's also dialed it back 1000 on the jackass scale, so I really appreciated that. And then this scene happened and I was just like, okay, cool. And I like let the scene happen, and I mean, it's not like I let the scene happen. I ain't write the shit. But I like commented like, what the oh my god, like this needs to be addressed. I want like basically I'm just curious as to what's gonna happen. But literally the next scene, Marianne discusses her sex life with her present boyfriend to Connell, and it's not healthy at all. It is a representation of someone being submissive in the bedroom and what it means to be like dominant in the bedroom. And I'm not the expert on that subject, but I do know that Marianne stating, I mean, I don't enjoy it, but then you're not really submitting to someone if you're only submit to things you enjoy. She literally just said that she doesn't enjoy sex. Specifically because of what her boyfriend is doing and like how this is all going about. And that seems like terrible representation for these types for, I don't even want to say BDSM or like sub dom relationships, because like that's not what this is. Like I'm ready to DNF this damn book. And literally I'm on page 133. That is literally halfway through this book. It is like midnight now. I'm at least DNFing it for the night. I'm gonna finish this chapter and yeah, go to sleep, I guess. Or like, well, now I'm up. I was getting tired. I was going to go to sleep soon. And then that just woke me back up. And now I'm mad. I don't mind that the instances happened, because I am hoping that Sally Rooney is about to create like this whole discussion. I mean, this whole book has kind of been talking about like sexual relationships and like what that means to be with someone who you really vibe with, and being with people that you don't, and all of that crap. I don't mean to say crap, but you know why. Again, I'm tired and angry, so my language is gonna be quite negative. But Sally Rooney has formulated this whole discussion kind of happening. And I genuinely just don't understand why those two scenes had to be right after each other. It was 3 freaking pages. All of that I just read was 3 pages, maybe 4. Like, what the fuck? I am so angry. Like, literally so angry. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I had to purposefully slow my life down and have a whole mental health, a whole self-care moment for one of the sprints. Did that too early, because now I need to do something else to relax. Like, the way it was done, I don't want to continue the discussion. I don't understand why they had to be one after the other. I feel like that was very sloppily done. I feel like that was sloppy. I'm gonna finish the chapter because I think I'm like 1 to 2 pages before I finish the chapter. And I'm gonna see if something happens in that 1 to 2 pages that makes me want to continue this discussion. Well, good night, y'all. I will check in again in the morning.
You saw me through. I was on a slow train headed for a heartbreak.
Time for an update. It is 11, about to be 11:30 in the morning, and I'm still on the Patreon sprints for Mel Reads, and officially finished Normal People by Sally Rooney. You know what? Let me say my thoughts, and then maybe that'll help me figure out what I'm rating this. Like I stated before, I would never recommend this book to anyone, and I meant that as in I don't care if I rate this book 4 stars, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. This is a book you need to figure out if you're interested in yourself. Basically, there was a lot of content warnings that I have literally never heard when this book is discussed, and that made me angry. Those content warnings include childhood abuse, abuse from a family member, both physically and verbally, sexual harassment, and I genuinely don't know how to acknowledge the trigger warning of what is her name? Marianne's like issues surrounding like her sex life, but on it, I don't even know if there's a trigger warning for that, because I realized as I read on, and I am happy that I read on because I really needed to like formulate my thoughts on this. And yeah, so Marianne has been abused and by her family, just in general, both physically and verbally abused by her family, and that very much affects the way she looks at herself and her worth, and whether or not she deserves love, whether or not she deserves companionship, whether she or not she is lovable. And that was just really difficult to read for me personally, not because it is something I relate to, it is just something that made me uncomfortable in a bad way. Here's the thing. You remember earlier in the vlog when I said that I am not the type of person that really needs to like the main character in a book for me to like it. However, the writing has to be good enough for that to happen. That's the thing. The way Sally Rooney writes didn't end up working out well for me when it came to the topics that were discussed. Essentially, this entire book focuses mainly on one, mental health and mental illness, specifically depression and suicidal thoughts. Oh my goodness, forgot to mention that as one of the trigger warnings. But yeah, suicidal thoughts are also a trigger warning for this book. Sorry, I forgot to mention that earlier. So the two main topics of Normal People was mental health and mental illness, specifically as it shows up in depression and suicidal thoughts, as well as a full discussion of sex. Sex was used as a discussion of like the pressures men are under to always want to need to always want to perform, and the pressure women are under when it comes to sex. There was slut shaming in this book. I guess that is also another trigger warning. There was revenge porn. The last update, I was talking about the scene that happened in the middle of the book, or rather the scenes, and they did continue to play out. For the scene that pertained to Connell, it was simply addressed and then we moved on. Like, he told Marianne about it, and then we moved on. When it comes to this situation involving Marianne in the middle of the book that I was discussing in the last clip, that ended up playing itself out as the relationship with that person progressed. Sally Rooney's books are very much like, I'm going to lay this in front of you and you're going to come up with your thoughts about it. Or I don't know if that's what all her books are like, but that's what this is. It is just people living their life, and then you come to the conclusion of whether or not you relate to it, like it. You come to the conclusion of what the issue is. And thing is, I like that in books. I just didn't like that in this book. I am kind of like sad and upset because I liked quite a bit of the discussions that happened in this book. I just don't like how there never felt like a why, basically. Yeah, this is just like life in a book. It's not a romanticized version of life. It's not here to make people feel better about themselves or anything. It is just two people living life. And that is great. It has happened in so many books. I have enjoyed it in so many books. I just don't like the writing. Essentially, I liked the premise and the discussion being had, but layer on like the actual people, layer on the writing, and layer on how truly there was like no substance to the discussions, and it kind of takes away from the discussions. Like takes away from the impact. But another part that I did not like about this book is the white privilege of it all, I guess. First of all, there wasn't a single character of color. Honestly, that might be why I can't stand this book. And I literally just had a light bulb moment remembering that. But honestly, another part of this book that I couldn't really stand was the white privilege of it all. It just read, and it's like, so we all know here, right, that white privilege doesn't mean that you're rich. White people who are poor can also have white privilege. We all know that, right? Great. Because we had a full conversation in this book about male privilege, or a full discussion about male privilege in this book, and we didn't mention once that there's nothing for white folks and the privilege of their scenario. Literally just reads as white privilege. That is it. Like, that is why I was not connected. This always just felt like white people problems. And not in the way of, like, people of color don't go through this, or people of color aren't a part of this discussion. But guess what? They weren't in this discussion. That is what I can't stand about this book. So yeah, I'm going to close this very quickly and just say that was my issue with the book. That this whole discussion happened and there wasn't a single white person. Or there was nothing but white people. This whole discussion happened and there wasn't a single person of color. That was my disconnect with this book. I'm so over reading books without a single person of color. People of color exist all around the world. They could have added at least one character, put one perspective in here that was not a white person. All they cared about was the class aspect and not the class and the gender aspect, while not once including race. And we all live in the world. We know how important race is and how much it impacts people's perceptions and people's thoughts and everything. You know what? 2-star. This is a 2-star book, because this whole book I've been like, this discussion feels incomplete. And I've been like, well, it's not like the author has to conclude this discussion for it to be complete if that's their choice. But it's not that the discussion that was in this book wasn't concluded. It's that it wasn't complete. And what I mean by that is there was a conclusion in this book. The discussion that began at the beginning of this book concluded at the end of this book. But it was not complete because there was no perspectives in this book except for 2. Maybe 2. because honestly, I don't even know if the impacts of class was really discussed very well, but maybe again that it's just because it wasn't completed. So yeah, 2 stars. And honestly, that is being generous. If anyone knows of a book that has discussions of sexuality and sexual expression and romantic relationships and etc., but it's actually done well, please let me know, because like I said, I actually am interested in the discussion of the pressures men are under when it comes to sex. I'm just interested in a discussion on sex and sexuality and everything. So if anyone knows of a book that actually did well in discussing it, or you feel like I would enjoy, please let me know. But yeah, I'm gonna get into Bloom now. I'm kind of more excited about this book than I was before, because like I said, we're on sprints right now, and I told Mel that I was going to be moving on after I was done with this and reading Bloom or Tomi, and Mel was just like, she didn't enjoy Bloom because of the main character. And so I am intrigued. My interest has just been piqued, and I would love to know what the issue with this main character is. Which, honestly, now that I think about it, I literally was just talking about how I didn't care for these characters, and how that, like I said, I don't care if I don't like the main character, if the story is good and if the writing is good. So I want to see if that happens in this book. But now I think about it, this might be bad timing for me to go into one book where I didn't care about the main characters and then head into one where I might not even like the main character. Yeah. But yeah, second book of the readathon officially done. Heading into the third one now.
You came along, played a new song, so turn it up, don't ever stop. It's how you do the things you do, and I don't mind. Just take your time. I'll let you do the things you do, the things you tingling down my spine whenever you're around, boy. The way you pull me near and whisper in that sweet voice. Just what I wanted, just what I needed. You pull me through.
Alright, it is officially 6 o'clock. Wow, right on the dot. It is 6 o'clock now. I am sprinting with friends. Earlier today, we watched the Avengers because we're doing this whole, like, watch party, I guess, for the entire series. Or, yeah, for the whole MCU. I also literally just finished Bloom, which is my third book of the readathon. Yay, I'm so proud. I liked the story a lot. As it pertains to the first character, totally see why he's unlikable. I totally see why he would be annoying to folks. Thing is, I picked up this book for the art and the baking, and they came through on that front. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate this book a 3-star. The only thing I really had an issue with when it came to the conflict in the book, one, it felt very extreme. If you know what the conflict is, you know why that would seem extreme. And then 2, all of a sudden it just felt very rushed. Like, all of a sudden after the conflict, the pacing rushed like 2 times. I think I will pick up, I really want to pick up Tomi because After reading Kyo, I just want to read more Junji Ito, but I think I'm going to pick up instructions for dancing first and save Tomi for either the next readathon. Ow, I just hit my eyebrow so hard. But yeah, I'll save Tomi for either the next readathon or sometime this week. Yeah. All right, I'm feeling really good about my reading. Like the fact that I'm on my third book right now and I got to have some family time and some friend time. Feeling really good and so proud of myself. All of these books were actually on my TBR for the month. So yeah, I got to knock off some of those titles, which honestly is what makes me the most happy because I am determined to finish my TBR this month. Hey guys, so it is officially the Monday after our Citadel readathon, our first ever, maybe monthly, we will see, Citadel readathon. It was a blast. I had so much fun. I'm gonna go ahead and do this wrap up portion. The first book I finished on the readathon was You Can't Touch My Hair by Phoebe Robinson. And I loved this book. I especially am happy that I found the audiobook for it because she's so funny. And I would not have been able to read this and do her justice. Like, her actual voice is just so funny, which makes sense because she's a comedian. It absolutely felt like I was just listening to a podcast, which I really enjoyed because I would be listening to this when I was like commuting to the bookstore and back, or working on my reading journal, or just anything where I needed tasks. Also, Friday night, I was just like physically tired, so I just couldn't pick up a book. So it was really nice to listen to this one on audiobook. I rated it 4 stars. I absolutely love it. She has 2 more books. One of them I think was released this year, or it's going to be released this year. Something like that. And I can't wait to read both her other books. And I think I'm going to stay along the lines of reading them as audiobooks because, like I said, that was a blast. Unfortunately, the next book I have was not the same. It's not the same story at all. The next book I read for the readathon and finished was Normal People by Sally Rooney. Did POC not exist? Like, I even tried to give the author a break and be like, well, maybe there's just not that many POC in Ireland. Like, all I've ever really heard of Ireland is a bunch of white people anyways. But then I was like, POC exists everywhere in the world. Like, even if the numbers are very small, POC exists everywhere in the world. And the only time they were mentioned in this book was a character saying that they don't want to go to a certain location because there's nothing but Asian people taking photos there. And then again, another character called them out on that and was like, that was racist. And guess what happened after that, guys? They had a formal discussion discussing why that was problematic and why they shouldn't say words like that. Psych, they moved on. Not a word was said. There was a moment of silence, of awkward silence, because the white people got scared that someone was getting called out on their racism. And then they moved on and was like, would you like another drink? Yes, give the drunk man more drinks. Let him say more racist things while drunk. Give him more of an excuse. So yeah, the backbone discussion is about sex. The pressures men are under when it comes to sex. The pressure women are under when it comes to sex. And so on and so forth. There was no POC involved in that conversation. There was no LGBTQIA rep in that conversation. We literally just got the cis white male perspective and the cis white female perspective. Who wants that? If you want that, go out into the world. They are more than willing to give you their opinion. It honestly was just a very tone-deaf book. The only reason I got 2 stars is because, again, I like the discussion that this book was trying to have. I just hate that they sucked at doing it. Next book I finished for the readathon was Bloom by Kevin Panetta and Savannah Ganuccio. I'm so sorry. I keep meaning to look up how to pronounce Savannah's last name, and I keep forgetting, clearly because we are here, and I still don't know how to pronounce it. Ganuccio. I'm gonna go with Savannah Ganuccio. If I'm wrong, I am so sorry. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. There's no excuse for pronouncing your name wrong. I'm so sorry. But, and especially because, again, the whole reason I wanted to pick up this book is because of her drawings. Like, she did I loved the art in this book. So, I'm so sorry, sis. I really messed that up. But, yeah, I gave this book a 3 stars. I thought the story was good. I was really drawn to the family bakery portion of this book, and they did not disappoint when it came to that topic. We got the familial dynamics of the bakery, we got bakery action scenes, and I loved that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, 3 stars, mainly because of the reasons I stated earlier in the vlog. And then I did pick up instructions for dancing towards the later part of the readathon, and by later part I mean like literally it was late evening, and I've literally only read 20 pages. I'm really enjoying it though so far. Officially with the readathon, I have completed 3 books and read 924 pages. Of course, those 924 pages would not have been possible for me this weekend if I did not have the audiobook, reading physically and with the audiobook, and that's not the book I meant, and having this graphic novel. I feel very accomplished in what I did read and what I was able to listen to and read and what I was able to physically read with my eyes, and still having the opportunity, the chance, and the great experience spending time with my family, my niece, my 2-year-old little baby, and of course the amazing, beautiful, fantastic Citadel. Alright guys, so that is the end of the wrap up for me. It was so great experiencing all of this. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, do make sure you are subscribed to my channel and press that bell notification if you would like to be notified. Go ahead and press that like button because I like you and you like me, and that is a Barney song, I believe. So, alright, I will see you all next time.